One of the things that I loathe about personal branding is the phrase personal branding.
Yeah.
It seems to convey all sorts of things that I don't think are at all relevant to what you and I are talking about here, which is so much more about adapting systems to support people to be who they are, and also at the same time encouraging the individuals to maintain that space to have the support that they need to constantly be connecting with who they really are, because we will all be better for it if both systemically it's going to support them, and also if they have the individual support that they need to do that work. Because I often think of the work that I do like the phrasing you use in yoga, right? Which is it's a yoga practice. Mm-hmm. It's intentionally never meant to be perfect. It's about committing to the practice. And when I think about personal branding, it sounds all wrong, because that's not really the way to talk about a personal brand, which is a thing. And a lot of people think of it as, I'm going to go be Kim Kardashian, or I'm going to become an influencer, or I'm going to mold an identity out of thin air. And that's where another crisis can come from in this process. And I think one of the reasons that pretty much to a person, every senior, experienced, accomplished executive I work with in this space says at some point to me, I really don't want to do this work. It makes me really uncomfortable. I don't like talking about myself. And to every single person I say, welcome to the club. I'm so glad you're so humble, but you do deserve to both have the self-awareness of who you are, why you are the way you are, what drives you, what your style is, and what people value in you. And also the language to be able to convey that to other people so that they can better understand you. The idea of being able to shape how you're seen is a matter of human survival in a lot of ways. Mm-hmm. To be interpreted and understood in the way that we want to be understood isn't an exercise in vanity. It's an exercise in building trust by being authentically who we are and taking things that are often framed up maybe as a weakness, and instead understanding that might just be who we are, and that is actually a strength. It just might be our own way. To your point, that there's more than one way to lead and influence and be inspiring. So it's okay to set that forth as goals for leaders, but allow some space within that for people to meet you there and say, okay, my form of inspiration and influence is going to be quiet. It's going to be steady. And that's because that's the way that I am. And if you give me space to know that about myself, maybe to even share it with other people and to own that, I'm going to feel more confident. I'm going to feel more seen, and I'm going to be far more successful in my effort to support the company in the leadership style they're looking for.
I love that. It's this idea of like, when we have the space to explore who we are, how we came to be this way, and even where we want to go, because that the practice of leadership in particular is one of growing and evolving. It allows us to stand firm or grow like deeper roots in the way that we are, and to make those decisions when someone's asking us to be something else that's going to lead us down a path toward burnout or inauthenticity, or like you said, showing up inconsistently, which is the worst thing you can do as a leader for your team to build a foundation of trust and psychological safety and all of those things. I also, it's funny because I think personal branding is a hot topic right now because it sounds really cool. And what we're talking about today is not creating a beautiful veneer that sounds good. We're talking about getting really deep and knowing what it is that you bring to the table by not even trying, the things that are so easy to you that sometimes you don't see them yourselves, but all the people around you see them, and naming those things and standing firm in those things and saying, you're asking me to do this, I'm going to do it this way, and I'm going to get to the same result or outcome of success, but I'm going to do it my way.